first box score.
You better sign that.
Well, looking at the box score, as I'm walking back, I kind of go to the things that we talk about before the game. Like, what are the 4 things that we want to do as a team each and every game? We want to dominate defensively. We want to be boss with the ball. We don't want to turn it over. We want to take great shots. And we want to dominate effort. And when you look at that, I felt like we did it. We did it, right? Our goal is to hold people under 60 points, and they scored 59. Boss with the ball, we're 10 turnovers less. We had 10. Take great shots. We shot a pretty good 51% from the field. We didn't make threes. I think part of that was us being tired. First game jitters and everything else, but still shooting 51% was pretty good, and then dominating effort, 43 to 25 on the glass. Proud of what we did. Happy for our guys. I want to really thank that students, or all the students that came, all the fans that came, really. But the students, the fans that were here, there were times when we needed to dig in and get stops. And I think they helped us in that way. They propelled us in that way. And that's something that we need each and every night. I said it the other night, right? Gritty, not pretty. And that's who we want to be, and I thought we were that tonight. So, I'm excited about the first one, and ready to get back to work for the next one.
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you.
Hey, Micah, congratulations, first win. Mark Brennan of Lines 247. You've worked a long time to get to this spot. What was this day like for you? I know coaches hate to make it about themselves, but obviously this is a unique situation. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, it was a long day. That's what it was. I knew the 8:30 start was going to be a challenge, but I also didn't. I probably should be better. I couldn't sleep, so I was up for a while. I had to sneak down to my basement, play some Galaga, try and break some high scores down there, until I could fall asleep. But then I was up early, and I couldn't nap, after shoot around. I was just anxious to start. It's a lot of that was nervousness, but a lot of it was I knew this would be a challenge, right? I've watched Youngstown State play. I've lost games at Youngstown State, right? When we went to the Final Four at Butler, they beat us during that run. So I knew how good they were. I knew they wanted to come in here and play really well. They had scrimmaged, one of the teams that we scrimmaged. So I knew this was going to be a challenge. That's why I was nervous. We got a bunch of older guys, and sometimes they probably could have coached themselves. I'm not saying I don't need to be out there or anything. I like being out there with them, but
Your AD's back there.
I know, I just probably shouldn't say that, huh? But, we had older guys, and, I knew how they were going to respond, how they were going to compete. So it wasn't nervousness for me. It was nervousness for how they were going to change defenses and do things to really challenge us.
Micah, was there anything in particular that caught you off guard about today? You obviously had a lot of months to prepare for this. Was there anything, whether it's pregame or during the game, that you kind of didn't expect to happen that did happen?
Not really. It's funny. Our staff has never gone through this together, right? So I bounce ideas off of, Mike Green and things we did at Butler in practice or day of games. And Grady Eifert was with me for 2 years, the last 2 years at Purdue. So, I bounce ideas off of him about, things that we should do at shoot around, and then the other assistants. Right? We want to take all of that in and give our guys the best chance to be prepared to win. So I think we did that. We put our heads together, came up with the right plan, and I felt like we did that. So, but they presented a challenge, right? Having no film on them is really hard. Right? You're going on word of mouth from a couple of people that they played, but what they did in the scrimmages was different than how they played tonight. Right? They played more zone in the scrimmages than they played tonight. They put guys in different spots and on different people, and we had to adjust to that as the game went on. That's, having older guys, putting them in positions to make plays, and really try and take advantage of what they were doing. But they made it hard. They challenged us. They're a good team.
Hey, Coach, what did you learn about your team tonight?
A little bit of what I knew. Those guys are just, they're warriors, man. Like, you could see it. Like, we were wearing down. We were tired. I ask a lot of them on the defensive end. Right? I ask them to play extremely hard. When we get stopped, I'm asking them to run the floor, right? Sprint to the corner, run to the rim, do all this stuff. That takes a lot of effort. We try and manage that in practice so they're at 100%. But, guys were cramping up. It happens early in the year. Guys play a lot of minutes. You look at it, Jalen Pickett played 36 minutes, and, Sam played 33. That's a lot from those guys, but they battled, they fought. I think we got a little loose defensively when we got tired. Like, that's where I think we need to get better. But I thought we executed fairly well down the stretch to get the shots that we wanted to get.
Hey, Micah, how important is it to have your offense running through Sam and Seth? Was that a point of emphasis coming into this game?
Really for all of our guys, we want them to be multi-dimensional. Guys have the ball in their hands in different positions, and whoever's night it is, like, that's whose night it is. Like Jalen, Jalen didn't play well particularly, but, we need him out there because he's another guy that can handle the ball, can make passes, he can defend people. But Seth and Sam got the hot hand, so we're going to go to those guys. And they made big shots for us down the stretch. Sam made great plays for us down the stretch. When you look, 8 assists and 2 turnovers is impressive. Right? He's making plays at the rim, but when people come and help, he's finding guys on the perimeter. And I think that's an area of growth for him where you see improvement from last year. And he's bought in to what we're trying to do. And you see it each and every day. And I thought he carried us. I thought Seth made big shots, and he carried us at times too.
Hey, Micah, what did you see in particular from Seth tonight? He looked like he was pretty aggressive right from the start.
He was. That's who we want him to be. We want him to be aggressive. He's at his best when he's looking to score, but he's also making the right decisions. For him to have, 2 turnovers, we watched a lot of film. We talked about how these guys wanted to help and playing off 2 feet, right? Not running people over and taking charges. Making the right decision, not trying to force passes, make simple passes. And I thought he did that when they cut off his drives or when they took away his 3. So, the more we can play through him, when he's making good decisions like that, it really helps us. It really helps us because he's aggressive now. People can't double as much if he's making the right play. And he'll continue to get better, right? He had 23 points and 6 rebounds, and I'm saying he's going to get better. I think there are areas of growth that he can continue to grow. And maybe it's not, maybe he doesn't get 23 next game and he has an even better game. It's not always his scoring, it's his decision-making, it's his effort. And he really brought it tonight on those ends.
Last 2 questions, starting with David.
My guy, I think John had 25 minutes tonight. We saw Jelani pretty early. How did the way that you use your bigs tonight kind of match what you hope to do, I guess, generally with Greg out?
We wanted to try and mix those guys up and give them some opportunities to play together too. I think, right now being shorthanded, you got to do it set on a rotation, but then you got to bounce it off and go with who has fouls, who doesn't have fouls, who's tired, who's not, and credit to. I gave Coach Fisher a list, and he'd check with me at timeouts and say, hey, is this the group you want, or do you want to sub to this? So it's something we went in with a set plan. We got off of it a little bit. I got John out early when he picked up a foul, just right by the media, because, if we can save him a couple minutes without playing with another one, right, we can have him out there even more. And, 26 minutes, great for him. It's perfect for him. He played extremely hard, like 16 and 14 is impressive, no matter who you're playing against. But Jelani, 14 minutes. If he wouldn't fouled it, I would have liked to got him, even more minutes. So I thought he did some good things. He got tired in the second half, but he did some good things for us early in the game, getting on the glass, getting us some extra possessions and some buckets.
Hey, Micah, Ryan Parsons, Onward State. First game of the season, first game with a new coach. What was the mood like of the team throughout today and then also after the game in the locker room?
They were excited to play. You could sense a little bit of nervous energy. We were a little quiet at shoot-around, which they're normally not a quiet group. They love to talk, and there's a lot of guys that love to talk, like Miles, Sam, like they're going to talk nonstop. And they were a little quiet, right? You could sense the kind of nervous energy, but they just wanted to do so well. Right? It was. I think that's the biggest part. I'm excited for them and how they played, and in front of this fan group. And I hope, I kept saying it. We want to make Penn State proud, and I hope they did that tonight with their effort, with how they played, with how we tried to share the ball and defend and dive on the ball for loose balls and everything else. So, in the locker room, they were great. And I kind of put it on me. I had some bad self-awareness that I didn't realize that each guy had 2 bottles of water in his hand waiting on me after I finished talking. That's probably part of my self-awareness a little bit. But they were excited. They wanted to celebrate for me. I wanted to celebrate for them because they deserve it. They deserve it. These guys have been through a lot. They fought through a lot, and they've stayed together. And, we're going with the mantra of win anyway, no matter what happens, right? No matter who's in, no matter who's out, no matter who's got fouls, no matter who's tired, no matter who's injured, find a way to win anyway. And I thought we did that tonight.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank
Seth
you,
and
guys.
Sam will
Thanks for
be in
coming.
here in just a second.
Thanks.